What's going on, guys? JSGC Football here, back again once more. So Preston's next opponent is Reading as we play them tomorrow night live on Sky at the Select Carlisle Stadium. That's a mouthful, and I just can't get my head around how long it is. But anyway, it's not our favourite stadium to go to at all. As everyone knows, with our history with Reading, it's just absolutely awful. It's what you call a bogey team, Reading FC. I hate playing them. So Reading were formed in 1871. Wow, never realised they're so old. Older than PNE. So they nicknamed the Royals to play at the Select Carlisle Stadium, formerly called the Midayski Stadium. I prefer that, the Midayski. It has a capacity of 24,162. So PNE have responded since our Blackpool defeat. We're now over it, and we responded back with a nice back-to-back wins at Deepdale for the first time this season. So PNE are now up to 7th in the championship for the first. So PNE are now up to 7th in the championship at the time of this recording. But one thing to mention is we played one game more or 2 games more than some opponents. So we're now on 28 points from 19 games. As first task, as always, is to get to that magical 50 points and then build from there. So we're only 7 wins from there and a draw. So we're getting towards it. I don't think we'll be in the relegation fight. Mid-table, and I still predict we'll finish 14th or 13th. I'll go for 14th, and that's still my prediction for North End, 14th. I know my championship said 9, but I think 14th. So with Hughes back from injury, we have our favoured rock-solid defenders in Hughes, Story and Lindsay. Lindsay has come on leaps and bounds this season after nailing down a starting place. Lindsay has made PNE fans eat their words this season and proven many people wrong, including myself. As it just goes to show with his starting play, last season he looked absolutely awful. I called him the Titanic, just slow to turn, and I think it's just confidence. So it's built up his confidence, he's got used to his team, and it's just gone from there. He's made a strong bond with Story and Hughes as well, and Cunningham when he's played. So they built up a nice strong bond between the three, and with Woodman as well. So Story's regained his confidence from last season as we learned about Sheffield Wednesday, and he has proved a lot since then, as it's just given that confidence boost, and that's all he needed, game time. Same with Lindsay, just game time. So Hughes, he was Mr. Dependable last season. Arguably, maybe, I wouldn't say our player season, but it's certainly up there with our more better players last season. And that left centre-back slot, it just suits him to the ground because he's left-footed as well. As it allows him to play a little bit as a wide centre-back to also do the underlap and overlap of the full-backs if we needed to. As he's just very comfortable in that position, and can't you tell we've got him back with a nice clean sheet against Swansea. We are back. Our 3 is back along with Woodman. So with Freddie Woodman, we've not felt Everson's absence at all this season. I thought we would, but we haven't. A massive credit to Freddie for this, and the defence as well, and the entire team. For 11 clean sheets in 19 games, it's just been our goal scoring that's let us down. Can you imagine if we turned a few of those 0-0s into 1-0 wins? How pretty we will be sitting right now. And that's what we need to do. We need to grind out results, turn 0-0s into 1-0s. So now we have 2 games before the World Cup. So we have 2 games before the World Cup breaks. So we have 2 games now before the World Cup break, which starts on November the 18th, I think. As we have Millwall after the Reading game. That's our next 2 games. So in the last 2 games, PNE have shown resilience and character to come from behind to win it against Middlesbrough with 93rd minute winner with Story, and we held firm against Swansea as they pass it around a lot, and we just held firm, and it's quite easy to defend against at times, and massive credit to the defence. But that's what we need to start doing, is turn those 0-0s to 1-0s. Like with August, Rotherham, we really should have beaten her. A few others we should have beat as well. Just those 0-0s, and it's frustrating. Shows you we're not too far off. I know fans have been criticising Rilo. I don't think he deserves the criticism at all. He's done a very good job under very difficult circumstances, as I can understand the budget he's dealing with. He's got one arm tied behind his back, as I do feel a little bit sorry for him. I think it just backfired against him when he said the attacking football brand, and some PNE fans have been very unreasonable and judged him against it. You can't complain with North End. I'd certainly take 28 points from 19 games, and we're sitting 7th in the minute. I'm happy, but that's the fickleness of football fans. Like with Championship, is, you know, if you lose back-to-back, PNE could be sliding down that table to easily to 16th spot, and that's when we get a little bit annoyed. It's just absolutely mental, the Championship. But I think overall, Brownlow is doing a good job under very difficult circumstances, with squad depth is not what it should be, as I think he has been a little bit let down. So the football... So with squad depth, to mention that, it's been our Achilles heel, as when we get injuries, we just don't have like-for-like replacements. As it's no one thing to mention, like Blackpool, I'll give you an example of our squad depth. Cunningham went off, Hughes was injured for that game, but when Cunningham went off for Diaby, you saw the difference in defence. We just went to bits, absolute bits. As Diaby, again, I'm not too sure of his Championship standard, and that's the problem with PNE. There's a few players there that aren't Championship standard. So we've got a decent core, I'd say about 14, 15 players, very good Championship players, a good core, but get outside that 14, 15, and you wonder where is he going to come from. We just don't have that squad depth. It's been let down by the hierarchy. As I realise they're trying to cut costs at the top like that, but we've been frustrating. It's just so frustrating to be so close, as we know we're not that far away from being a competitive team that can compete for the top 6. It's very, very frustrating being a PNE fan, and very frustrating, as I'm sure any PNE fan watching this that knows what I'm talking about, as it's been the common theme for us if you've ever supported PNE. Is that not really a lot has changed for PNE in 60 odd years since the last played in 1961 in the top flight, as that's always been the PNE's let down, the lack of ambition that some call it, and it's quite hard to criticise at times as well, just not spent at the right times or the right managers, like Billy Davis for one, as that was a team. Some PNE, our younger generation, never witnessed that PNE team. The arrogance that we had under that team, you just knew, like 22 games unbeaten streak, as you just knew you was going to get a result, and you'd come in cocky and confident, knowing we could back it up and get the result. So the one thing to mention, like, if we get Reece injured, is we've got nothing up front at all. You wonder where the goals are coming from. There's been our Achilles heel, 14 goals we scored this season, conceded 15. So now on to Reading. So our opponents are on a poor run of form with 1 win from their last 6 games after starting very well in the Championship, and I think they reached 2nd at one point as well. But Reading are now 11th in the Championship at the time of this recording, with 26 points from 18 games. So they are sliding down the table at the minute. We'll see if they're arrested. But of course they will. It's Preston North End. It's our favourite team, Reading. So Reading's manager is Paul Ince, who PNE fans need no introductions to the... So Reading manager is Paul Ince, who PNE fans need no introduction to, as it comes as no surprise that his son Tom Ince plays for Reading as well, as he folded Blackpool like that, father and son. But surprisingly, this one, it surprises me. Reading's top goal scorer is Tom Ince with 4 goals, and he's got 3 assists as well. He's doing alright for Reading. It shows you he's not past it. He's still got it in the Championship. He can still compete. So this surprises me, but it's one to watch out for on Friday night, as he's certainly in form, and next year he's backing it up as well. What surprises me with Reading is Lucas Joao. He's not starting for Reading, and I've been a long time admirer, and for me, a key player for Reading. I was just impressed the way he tore Preston apart in the past. And you'd think there's at least 20 goals in him there, 15 at the very least. Really, really good player, Lucas is. I just really love to have him at North End. So Reading play a 3-4-1-2 system, not too dissimilar to North End with wing backs, as they prefer to play Carroll and Meite up. Meite, I think I'm saying that right. So Meite up front, with Ince playing behind the strikers. So Meite is another one to watch, as I think he's got the highest XG for Reading in the minute. And another one to watch out, of course, is just Andy Carroll with his height. Hopefully Lindsay will be man marking him and try and keep him in his pocket, as Lindsay is our strongest player and the one with the most height to try and keep tabs on Andy Carroll. So Reading's strength seems to be their attack. It's quite an impressive attacking lineup, really. They've certainly got options up front needed. Like, if you can bench Lucas Joao, wow. I just wish we had that kind of reserve at North End like that. Imagine if we had Lucas Joao to come on for Emil Rees. So I think it'll be a close game with Reading having the decent option in front, like I've just mentioned. So gut instinct tells me classic PNE, and with the team in poor form and the chance to move into the player places, you just know it's going to be one result. It'll be typical PNE and we will lose, because the signs tell me we'll lose because it's classic PNE. I just know what's going to happen. I should put a bet right now. PNE lose this. It's our massive bogey. They're out of form. Here come PNE. Oh, here we go, Reading. And you just know we'll lose. So Reading are a massive bogey team. Home and away. I just hate playing as we have done for the last 5 years. So this is our record against Reading since 2017 August. So Reading have won 7, drawn 1 and lost 1. So we won 1 in our last 9 attempts against Reading, home and away. Absolutely awful. Massive bogey team. I just hate playing him. So our only win against Reading in those last 5 years came at the Carl Leeson Stadium in November 2020, as we actually smacked him that day 3-0, surprisingly. It's because I nearly had a heart attack that day and actually beat Reading away. Wow. So overall head-to-head with Reading is 27... So the overall head-to-head with Reading is 27 Reading wins, 13 draws and 25 PNE wins. So the overall history between the two teams is just slightly in Reading's favour, but recent history is massively in their favour. I do not like playing it. So the other one to put this trend in the recent years is between 2015 and 17. If you remember PNE fans, when we just got promoted to Championship, we had Simon Grace as manager. So for his 2 seasons in the Championship with PNE, we beat Reading 3 times in 4 attempts. So he had a very good record. And that's the only time I can actually recall us doing well against Reading in recent history. And probably going to the last 20 years, as Reading used to beat us when there's a very good Championship team, especially during the yo-yo years of 2005 to 13. So my prediction for this game is a very tight game, as I think Reading will nick it 1-0, as death taxes and losing to Reading is the norm these last 5 years. So I think Reading will nick it, as somehow, whether it goes off a Cal's backside, it'll be that, because they're just anything for PNE lose, as I can just see it right now. So my PNE squad prediction is this: Freddie Woolman, Potts, Story, Lindsay, Hughes and Brady making up the 5. In midfield, McCann, Ledson and Brown making the 3. And up front, Evans and Rees. So I think round low we'll try and stick with the winning team, apart from Whiteman, who picked up an injury, so Ledson in for Whiteman, as I think that'll be the only change against Reading. Because why not? I'd keep it at that as well. It's a winning team, and you don't need to change it that much, really. But that is just my opinion. Give me your thoughts, PNE fans and Reading fans. Give me your thoughts. Reading, you must absolutely love playing us. PNE fans, they know my anguish against playing Reading. I just don't like playing them. I have been to this game in the past and never beaten them. I've never seen PNE actually beat Reading. But as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to JSGC Football for more football content, more Championship content, and more Premier League content in the future, as I will be returning to my vlogs from the Saturday game against Millwall, as life's just got in the way the last 2 months. It's just been very, very busy, very going, and I'm just getting back into the swing of things now with this. So I will be returning for my match of vlogs at Deepdale. And then from the new year onwards, we'll be doing some away days as well from February onwards. Maybe Blackburn away. Hopefully that'll be a good one to do as well. Blackburn away, because it's Derby Day. Why not? But that is all, guys. Peace. Ciao for now.